Education is free in Germany. You know all the big companies of Germany, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Bosch, and all the good things. Like there are hundreds and thousands of international students in Germany, and you can earn thousands of euros in Germany as a profession when you start working. These are all the good sides of Germany. But today in this video, I'm going to share my own experience. I am living in Germany for more than 1 year. When I got into BMW, I couldn't speak any word of German, and the struggles that I faced when I couldn't speak German, and now when I could speak German up to a certain level, what are the differences and what is actually the dark side of Germany. See, there is so much good about Germany, like the DART scholarship, and international students can work 140 days a year, but nobody wants to tell the realities and the dark side of any country. And today I will be honest, sharing my whole experience. So the first thing is the German bureaucracy. See, Germany being in Europe, the leading economy in Europe, is still living in 2005 when it comes to bureaucracy. Anything official that you want to do in a German as an international student, you need to have some physical documents. There is nothing a digital form. They don't prefer digital things. All of the German bureaucratic offices prefer hard copies. It's a very weird thing for me coming from Pakistan, which is a third world country, and there are so many digital things happening in Pakistan, and still 60 to 70% of the administrative work in Pakistan was done digitally. And when I moved to Europe, in Portugal, Spain, and France, I studied in 4 different countries. But after living in those countries, when I came to Germany, I realized that Germany is even behind these 3 countries, Portugal, Spain, and France, which was very shocking for me. Everything in Germany is done by sending papers, physical papers. For example, if you come in Germany, then you have to register your residence to an immigration office. For that registration, you need all of the physical documents, and you have to book appointment of the office at least 1 week or 2 weeks before. And legally you have to register your new residence in 14 days. See, when you come to Germany, you have a sticker on your passport, but when you reach here, you have to apply for a residence card. And to apply for a residence card, you need to have a proof of address and the registration of address. And to get a housing in Germany, you need actually sometimes the residence permit or an enrollment in a university and the health insurance. And to do all of these things, you need sometimes the contract of a house. And for that contract, you need the residence permit sometimes. So all of this German bureaucracy is connected, and you have to be very smart to deal with all this. I've seen so many students who got into PhD positions and they have to sign a contract, but before signing a contract, their university says that you should have a residence permit. And when they go to immigration office to apply for a residence permit, the immigration department asks them for their contract. So it's a circle of chaos in German bureaucracy. Now coming to the second dark side of Germany, which is the language barrier that nobody tells you. Everyone says that you can easily survive in Germany when you speak German. That is reality when you are living in Berlin or some parts of Munich or Hamburg. But when you are living in other cities of Germany, I can honestly say that it would be very hard for you to survive, because in smaller cities, most of the people living are old age people, and they don't prefer to speak in German. And when you cannot speak German, there will be many events happening with you, maybe racism as well. We will discuss the whole racism phenomena, why people underestimate racism in Germany while there is so much racism in Germany. But if you cannot speak German and you are coming to Germany, you will struggle a lot even making friends. I have so many German colleagues who say that it's even harder for Germans to make German friends, because they are not usually very comfortable with foreign people, and it will take you much time to build a relationship with them. And if you don't have German local friends, you will struggle a lot to get a first job. To get a first job in Germany, you need a good network in your professional atmosphere, and good network can only be built when you can speak German well. If you are planning to come to Germany, I would suggest you the first priority should be learning German language. When you see yourself in Germany for the longer run, you should learn German language at least to B2 level to get into some of the leading German companies. I personally got into BMW as a student without knowing any word of German language, and I made so many videos on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram page and telling people how they can get into German companies without knowing German language. But at the end, I realized that you can get into German companies without knowing German language as a student, but when you are applying as a professional engineer, once you are a graduate, then companies expect you to speak German at a fluent level, at least at B2 level, so you can communicate well in their team, with their client, and all of the technical people involved in their teams. Even international companies in Germany appreciate learning German language. If someone who has a low CGPA but they can speak German to a fluent level, they will be preferred over someone who has excellent grades, excellent projects, but they cannot speak German. up to a certain level. That certain level is at least B1. You should be able to speak German up to B1 level to get into some of the good companies. Now coming to the third side, which all of the students face when they come to Germany, is the examination system. See, in all of other countries, and especially the people coming from Asia and Africa, in their country there is a structured way of examination. There are midterm exams, there are some quizzes, there are assignments, but in Germany there are no such things. It's only the final exam, and 100% grades depend on this final exam. Yes, that is the case in Germany. Universities think that you're adult, you're responsible, they will give you readings, they will give you syllabus, and they will assume that you are responsible now and you have to read all of those material. There is no compulsory attendance system in Germany, and that's why you are not bound to go to class, take every lecture, make notes, and then prepare for exam. Most of the students struggle with this thing when they come to Germany, because in their home country they were used to going to class, making notes and preparing for exam. But when they come to Germany, they realize that they are responsible, and that's how they fail some of the exams in Germany, because there are no such direct guidance from professors and you have to do everything at your own. And in Germany you have 3 attempts to pass any course. If you fail the same course 3 times, then you will not be able to take the same course anywhere in Germany. Yes, anywhere in Germany. You heard it right. And I have seen so many stories of international students on Reddit, on Facebook pages. I know people who have done it. They failed the exam for 3 times and then they had to get out of their university, then going to some other universities. This is another big challenge in Germany that nobody tells you. There is another point when you talk about exams. The registration for exam is different than registering for a course. First you have to register for a course, but when you come near exam, and then separately in some of the German universities you have to register for an exam. And if you have registered for a course but you forgot to register for an exam, then you will not be able to sit in that exam although that you have taken the course. And in some universities that would be considered as fail. So you have to manage everything accordingly. And now coming to another dark side of Germany, which is the saturation in Germany as an international student, and the German job market is not doing good at the moment in 2026 and is not expected to improve soon. See, the graph of international students in Germany is rising exponentially, but opportunities for professionals in Germany are decreasing, because Germany is known for all of the automotive things, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, Bosch, some of the software companies like SAP. But at the moment, their biggest automotive company, Volkswagen, is not doing really good, and that is the reason that German economy is shrinking. That means less jobs and more unemployment. And unemployment rate in Germany is at peak since Great Depression in 2008. So these are the things you should consider when you're coming to Germany. And without knowing German language, you are going to face so many difficulties, because one thing, so much saturation of international students and opportunities are going way low. So this is a big challenge. I know so many students who are struggling even to find an odd job in Germany, and this is reality. And I want to be honest with you guys. You must have seen some of the posts on Reddit and Facebook pages that students are facing these challenges, and these challenges led them to depression, and then they eventually decide to go back to their home countries after living for months and spending thousands of euros in Germany and wasting their whole money. As I told you that there is so much saturation of international students in Germany, now there is another challenge. Getting admission in a public university is getting very challenging at the moment, but students with even excellent grades are not able to get admissions. Although I have explained in my previous videos how you can get into German universities even in 2026 and years to come by using some of the techniques. You can watch those videos. By the way, if you're still struggling to get admission in German public universities, we can help you getting admission in some of the public universities with zero tuition fee. We have a big team of scholars who are studying all over Europe, US, and they can help you getting admission all over Europe, UK, US, and getting some of the scholarships as well. Just reach out to us, scholarsavenue.com/services, and we will be happy to assist you. Now coming to another point, which is the racism in Germany. I personally didn't want to talk about this, but I have to be honest with you guys. Germany is one of those countries who are known to be racist. Yes, this is reality. Although there are different types of racism, and all of the countries has some sort of racism in Europe, and Europeans are known for this. But in Germany, especially in east of Germany and central Germany and some of the Bavarian cities, you'll find so many old people who will not treat you well, either in professional environments or you're standing at a bus station or a train station. There have been many incidents reported even on an official level. See the documentaries of DW, and they will see they have whole documentaries of international students doing their PhDs, and they face some of the racist comment. There are documentaries on DW, the official state channel of German government. They have documentaries on racism in Germany against international students. So I don't want to put just one side of Germany. I want to tell you the realities that people have faced. I personally have not faced anything, but one thing I can remember from all of my experiences, once I applied for some of the apartments when I came in another city, and one lady replied me. She said that Pakistanis are one of those countries whom she is not willing to give her apartment. So there is a structured way of racism in Germany. You will not see so many international or non-European people on some of the big levels in Germany at managerial positions and even team leader positions. So this is another side. Even in some of the big companies like Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen and BMW, you will not see non-European born people at some of the leading positions. Yeah, so that's why if you're very ambitious about your profession, think twice before coming to Germany, because this is the environment. Although you might be able to recover from this, but this is one side. Now there is another side. Finding a house in Germany, that is the most challenging thing. When you see some of the biggest cities in Germany like Berlin, Munich and Hamburg, one thing, saturation of international students and international expats, and housing market in Germany is not doing good. They have to continuously build their homes, but for now German administration is not being able to meet the needs, and that's why there is a crisis of housing in some of the major cities in Germany, and that makes housing very expensive in major cities. But still you can apply for student dormitories through your university, but for that in major cities waiting period is around 12 months. So it is clearly written in Munich that if you're coming to Munich and you're applying for student dormitory, you have to wait for 12 months. So all of these things really matter. Now coming to another dark side in Germany, that is the cost in Germany. See, you all know that health is free in Germany, that you can go to any hospital and you can get a free treatment, but that's not the reality. You should have a health insurance. Either you are an international student, you are working in Germany, you must have health insurance. And health insurance in Germany is not a cheap thing. It depends on your age. For example, if you are a 26-year-old and 27-year-old or 25 years old, you have to spend around at least 150 euros a month. And if you're above 30, then this cost will go even higher. So you have to pay around 150 plus euros a month just to get that free health. So health is not really free. And there are some other hidden costs as well. For example, a radio fee. If you are living in 21st century, you are not using radio, but still in Germany you have to pay a radio fee. And so think about all of these things when you are planning to come to Germany as an international student. I know for so many of you these were some new things, but I wanted to be honest with you guys. There is so much positive about Germany, and still Germany is the best destination to study as an international student. But the only thing is, when you are coming to Germany, prepare well. Learn the language, integrate into society, and learn about German culture, German ethics, and the skills that the German society needs for now. And be prepared to face the challenges of racism, challenges in professional development, and slow bureaucracy. But still, when you do the cost-benefit analysis of Germany with any other European country or even the US or the UK, you will see that Germany is way much better, because the initial cost is very low and the reward you can get once you graduate from Germany is way higher. So this is something very good, and I appreciate all of those students who go through all of these challenges and they achieve something good in their life. So if you are still watching this video, just comment below Germany with Usman, so that I know how many people are sincere with themselves. Because if you are not sincere with yourself, you cannot achieve something good in life. See you in the next video.